It's very important to have tax strategy. Very
And
important.
that's a big mistake I think that people make too.
Mhm.
If they don't know better, they don't go get a CPA. They don't go get a
Exactly.
tax strategist. They're like,
Right.
oh no, I can handle it, save myself a little bit of money. Spend the extra $1,000 to have a professional guiding you and do your
Yep.
taxes.
And I can save you thousands and thousands and
Exactly. It's an investment. There's
it
certain
is.
things that you shouldn't bother trying to do by yourself.
Right.
It's an investment.
Exactly. I don't try to cut my own hair.
Correct.
I just
Exactly.
don't.
Right.
No. So
Because you don't want to go around looking crazy.
I
Same way
don't.
you
And
would
I
look crazy if you had to pay the IRS a lot more
right.
than you could have gotten away with.
Exactly. So, and again, for entrepreneurs, which is why I love to work with entrepreneurs, because there's since we're talking about it, the government favors entrepreneurs. Well,
Okay.
why? Why, Vaughn? Or business owners. The government favors business owners because we provide jobs. So then the government doesn't have to take care of the people. We give you a job, you can take care of yourself.
Right.
Real estate investors provide housing. So the government
Yes.
does not have to provide housing for you. So there are
Yes.
tax breaks out the wazoo for real estate investors.
Depreciation.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
depreciation.
appreciation. There's just so again, that's why. So and here's another one. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, if you use a thing, and I'm paraphrasing, the tax law says if you use a thing, invest in a thing, buy a thing, um, in the pursuit of income, in your business, then you can deduct it. There's about 375, 400 or so different deductions that we can take. Take all of them as long as it is reasonable, ordinary, and necessary for your business. Right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So
Would you
what
like an
is the,
example?
yeah, 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 yeah. Give us the examples.
All right. I am a tax accountant here in New York City, in the city, not the outskirts. I am in the city. Okay.
Ooh, I know that's expensive.
I do. It's bananas, but that's another story for another time. I do not. And so I go and buy a tractor for my business. So, and now I try to write it off. And Uncle Sam comes knocking at my office and like, well, Vaughn, now tell me, why do you need this tractor in New York City in a tax firm? Just tell me. Well, Unc, I have clients upstate that are farmers. And so I got the tractor so that I can research the tractor and see how they use it, and just kind of resonate with what they got going on. And Uncle Sam will look at me and say, girl, have you lost your mind?
Exactly. Exactly.
That is not reasonable or ordinary or necessary in New York City.
No,
You do not need a tractor.
no.
First, you can't drive around because you'll get arrested. You can't,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Where are you going to park it? You
Correct.
don't do it. So that's
Correct.
not reasonable. It's not ordinary, and it's not necessary for my tax practice for me to have um, a tractor. And
You can't
that's,
just make stuff up.
you
You
can't
cannot
just
make
make
stuff.
stuff up. And I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I kind of want people to kind of get the point, right?
Yeah, people think you can just write off anything once you have a business, but
Right.
it has to make sense in the context of your business.
Absolutely. And there's also a myth that if you get an LLC that you can write off everything. No, you can write off everything as a sole proprietor. You get the LLCs and the S corps and all these are legal structures, not tax.
Right.
These are legal, a limited
Right.
liability company, LLC. It limits your liability. So
Right.
if you get sued and you don't have general liability insurance, this person who is doing the suing cannot touch your personal assets. That is
Right.
what a limited liability company is for, not so you can write off, you
Oh,
know, your dog,
your job. People are
which
so silly.
they
People are
do
so
try.
silly.
Well, I got
People
a
are so
car lot and I got 3 Rottweilers, so it's security. Okay, hey, if you can back this up, but Uncle Sam comes and messes with you about it, I don't think you should do it. I'm not
You know,
signing this return.
I have a dog daycare that's
Mhm.
named after my dog, but I still wouldn't try to write it off as a business expense.
Oh,
He's
but
the
it's
actual
marketing.
mascot.
But Tasha, it's marketing. You're using your dog's name. He's
No.
advertising for
Now,
you.
if I trademark his likeness,
Hmm.
maybe that's a business expense,
The trademark is absolutely.
but not like, taking him to the vet or buying him in general, like whatever, or
No.
sending him to dog daycare. It's crazy. People just they're crazy.
Hey, I get something
Don't
new
mess with the IRS.
every day. Yeah, you don't want no smoke with them. And depending on your state, you don't want no smoke with your state.
Correct.
People here, New York State is gangster. We think
I
that
bet they
student
are.
loans, the student loan people, no, it's New York
Yeah.
State.
For real.
They are ruthless. They will snatch everything from you. Everything. You
I've
know,
heard the taxes are very, very high.
the
Very high.
taxes are very high.
The state and the city, right?
Well, actually, yeah, it's the outskirts of New York City that the tax bases are higher, the highest.
Okay. Okay.
Westchester County, Long Island, they're the highest, like up there in like the top 5 in the whole United States. So yeah, my sister lives in Long Island, and when I look at her tax return or and her like interest statements and stuff like that, I'm like, gosh, girl, how are you doing it out there? And she's like, barely, but I got,
Really.
I'm
Oh my
doing it.
gosh. So
Yeah.
people, that's why people in New York make so much more.
Yes, yes.
They're not keeping it though. They're giving it to the different government entities.
Different ones. It's true. And the
Mm,
school board and this and that. So
right.
listen, but I can sit and talk about this all day
Me too.
long,
Me too. Me too. 100%.
Yeah.
Do you have any more juicy mistakes for us?
Wow. So, hmm, mistakes. Huh.
Or you took the
Embrace.
long way around and there was a shortcut, stuff like that.
Well, my attention span is short.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
understand.
ADD. So,
I empathize.
so taking the shortcut has always been my MO. And I didn't learn, I'll be 56 this year. Have I probably learned to stop doing that maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I've always taken the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to take the shortcut. Instead of learning things myself, I've paid thousands of dollars for other people to do it for me
Okay.
and never
Like
got
what?
the desired
Like
result.
like what? Like what?
Like marketing,
Okay. Oh my
like
gosh,
marketing.
that's a tough one. That's such a tough
it's a
one.
it's a tough one. But especially social media marketing and posting and all this, the thing that kind of makes your machine go.
Yeah.
I have hired so many people to do it for me, and I just never got the result. And I'll put it like this: I have not seen a return on my investment as far as that's concerned.
Absolutely. I understand. For me, I ended up in, this is my first year in business. So I
Mhm.
definitely am still under some year-long contracts for these little
Mhm.
marketing companies that guarantee you the SEO results and stuff,
Yep.
but nothing was happening. So I took over like my social media. Pretty much I've taken over like my Google ad accounts.
Mhm. Mhm.
And now I'm starting to see movement. So I'm when those contracts come due, absolutely firing everybody. Nobody's going to market my company like me.
Exactly.
And so, like, that has been, it was definitely like a handicap for me when I got started. We're
Mhm.
finance people. So we're
Right.
not like, I know you understand, but I'm not, sitting here thinking about my brand colors. I just want to make sure,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't care. I'm not like artsy like that. I would like to be. I admire people that are, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But I've had to like force myself to start thinking
Yeah.
in that way
Yep.
because I mean, I don't know how these companies sleep at night. Like, how do they stay in business, charging people all this money
Right.
for
Right.
no results? I just don't
Mhm.
understand it. But I guess as long as there's suckers out there like me who will pay them my first year, they'll always have,
Yep.
they'll always have a client.
Hey,
somewhere.
listen, they just sell you a bag of wooden nickels and, I-
You guys, if anybody calls you and they find you after you go in business for yourself and tells you for only $200 a month, for only $300 a month,
mhm,
for only a one-time investment of $5,000, I
mhm.
can guarantee you first page results on Google. No, they can't. No, they cannot. The only way you can guarantee that is by like longevity.
Yep,
You gotta, people have to be interested and give a crap, and the algorithm will pick that up, but
right.
or just simply pay at the beginning to get
Yeah,
yourself on the front page.
right. That's it.
It's
I
an
mean, and
investment.
exactly. And, algorithms are good, learn how they work, but you know
They
ultimately
change though. They
what they
change.
do change, but ultimately what works and what doesn't.
Right.
And so we get to decide what works and what doesn't. And, advertising and Yelp and Google and all of that didn't really,
Yelp
I
has never worked for me. I've paid them thousands of dollars. They keep calling too. They're like,
really,
"Oh, well, I can help you optimize it. I let you do that a few months ago and I didn't get one lead." So the
not,
answer
not
is
one.
no. The answer will
Mhm.
always be no.
Right. So,
Lesson learned.
that's a
Spent the
expensive lesson.
money, got the t-shirt.
Yep.
Don't need your help again. Thank you.
No, no, yep. So, just learning, like taking my time, however long it takes me to learn what I need to do.
Mhm.
And, just paying attention to what works. And
Yeah.
I'm also, I'm an old dog. I like my old tricks. The new
If they
tricks,
work though, if they work, use them.
of course, absolutely. But we do get to learn how to pivot. Just like I spoke
True.
before about when I got started in business, there was no email, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We all got
yeah.
to learn how to use email. We all
Yeah.
got to learn how to use, AOL dial up,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
That
Oh,
happened, right? And now we get to learn how to use AI. And I'm just like, I don't have the bandwidth for AI. I just don't. Now, I am lucky enough to have millennials and such around me who
yes,
love to
yes, yes, yes.
play as much as
So
you like.
I've been embracing AI.
Good.
I completed a whole 75-page information product last week using AI. It took me like
Whoa.
4 hours. Four
Wow.
hours for 30 little micro chapters of finance lessons for entrepreneurs.
Huh.
And the stuff is good. Now, I mean, I had to play